anyways, he came and he looked at the building, and he said, well, it looks like if we're going to spend the kind of money on that house, we would rather spend it on a new house. And it, you know, his evaluation was quite eye-opening, and he said the floor, the other part of where the other part of the bathroom was, and then the roof, it's looking at $40,000 to $50,000. That's just new construction. That's not counting the mold if it had to be taken care of. So we took that, and then we went back to meet with Byron again, and he said again, and we met with the housing committee, and the last council that was in place was not so, how do you call it, receptive, and they just struck me and what's the name of?
Kaboilu?
Yeah, Anu. They shrugged us off and they told us to go to some other department, and they would not have that money in place until April 1st of this year, hey? So we kept working and trying to develop a plan and try to look at what other measures were happening with the reserve and which were happening within the political structure. And we came up with what we call the mold issue, and then we came up with the 3 houses program, and then the plant, the housing plant, and then the new housing as well. So we got all these on the table, and we're going to meet with our new council starting this coming March. We have a situation where we gave them all this and said, okay, we'll have to meet with you. And the approach we're going to take is we're going to say, okay, with the mold remediation, there's got to be some responsibility someplace. And that responsibility has got to be Indian Affairs. So that's one part of the program. We don't know how they're going to react, but we're going to say, okay, here it is. But the 3 houses, we're going to start with them immediately, try and get them going, and we have some pilot project.
Got a question. Has that been approved by your chief and council? So you guys are you can go ahead on that anytime, or?
Yeah, we're like if you were on the reserve, eh? The mentality is you have to always go to the chief and council.
Yeah.
But if you have what we call use-of-fishery rights on a piece of land that's got your signature behind it, then you can go ahead and do some things. You can go and
without their approval.
Without their
because
approval.
That's under your name, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the idea we have. Is if we can break that mentality, break that what you call it?
Log jam.
Yeah. Where we have to go to chief and council. It's to say, okay, we have the land on the reserve. We can make the housing plant or whatever it is. We can make it on the reserve, with or without your authority. But if it's needed, it would be better to have it with the authority, so that we then get it sanctioned. But they have literally, I would say, literally nothing to do with the plant. And it would not become a political football if we're going to, how do you call it? if we're going to provide houses, we're going to provide houses on a, what's it called? Real?
Yeah, we're trying to develop a real estate project.
And if that works, then we have a situation where we can both go on and off reserve, and that will be available to members on and off the reserve, but not only members, it could be offered to anyone. So that the houses are built on the reserve and we start from there. That's the nutshell, that's what we call it, within a nutshell. Rod's got maybe something to offer.
Well, that's what we're trying to introduce, free enterprise. Because the other way it hasn't worked. We're depending on Indian affairs. Now, I worked long enough in the political area where we have settled monies. And land claim money. Those should not mingle with contribution dollars. It's the people's money. So that's what we're trying to clear up at the same time too.
The idea is